Is it coming home? Might be a little early to tell if it will for England as of right now, but after watching that game, 6 goals really does offer the opportunity that England could possibly win the World Cup this time around. Now, obviously, this is the first game, so again, there are a lot of high points, but there are some low points that we will talk about. But England, again, finding 6 goals, which is massive for this club, because we talked about England going into this World Cup not scoring a whole lot of goals, Gareth Southgate being more defensive. The fact that they were able to score 6 goals really shows that they can play very fluid up top when given the opportunity. Now, as we've seen, England have so many options when it comes to their attacking third, and I feel bad for Iran because we've seen players come off such as Harry Kane, Saka, and then people came on like Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, Callum Wilson, all these players that, again, Iran had no chance in this match at all. Now, you could say they did lose their starting goalkeeper early on in the game, and maybe that made a huge difference because after losing a guy like that, it makes it very hard for your defense to be very confident in your goalkeeper. And therefore, again, that could have been a huge issue for this entire match. But that being said, take nothing away from England scoring 6 goals. Again, phenomenal. Having multiple players score multiple goals. I think Saka played phenomenal. May have been man of the match, but I think Jude Bellingham should get a nod for that because what he did in this entire match was phenomenal. The guy was all over the pitch. If you know any terms about hockey, he would have had multiple hockey assists. If you don't know anything about hockey, then forget what I just said. But the fact is that he was playing the ball that led to the assist, that led to the goal multiple times. And obviously he scored that opening goal, which again started everything for England. And therefore, being at the age of 19 is quite remarkable what this guy can do. Obviously, Dortmund have a freak of nature with this guy, and most likely will come to the Premier League at some point and have a massive price tag. But again, I digress. This game itself was just what England needed to start off their campaign for the World Cup. This now gives them the momentum for their next couple matches. Now, again, Iran, I think, was the weakest of the bunch in this group. So again, they had to get that win. Now, the fact that they have to play United States and Wales, that will be a big test for them. I think, again, they can win both those games, even though United States will be a tough competitor. I think both those teams will still make it out of the group, but England still needed something like this to jumpstart their campaign for the World Cup. Now, a few things I do want to take away from this that I think were a little negative, or again, that England need to work on, is obviously letting up 2 goals to Iran, because really, they shouldn't have let any goals up. Now, don't take anything away from that first strike because that was a great strike. Pickford had no chance, but we saw their defense just have an off switch for a split second, and England will have to worry about that because, again, there aren't going to be games where they're going to be at 4-0. And if it's a 1-1 game and all of a sudden they switch off like that, that can be big for England. And obviously, they need to work on that. And Gareth Southgate, I'm sure, will talk to these players about that. The other thing that is going to be a big issue from this game was all the extra time that was played into this. I want to say there's an extra, what was it, 15, 25 minutes of extra time in this. Now, I know obviously in the first half it was an injury, so they weren't playing the entire time. But again, that is grueling on the players. And yes, I know Gareth Southgate did make multiple changes, but there were players that played this entire match. And maybe it won't be the next match, but it might be the third match. And maybe that won't be a big issue for England at that point. But still, you have to worry about fatigue for these players. And that could be a big issue down the road at some point for England. Because again, a lot of these players did put in an extra almost half into this game. And therefore, again, is going to add up over time with the multiple matches. Now, Gareth Southgate, again, has multiple players that he can rotate in and out in pretty much every single position. So again, with their next match, they do switch it up a little bit. Hard to say, but again, it'll be up to Gareth Southgate. So England, though, big win for them. Again, surprised by this, but again, is what they needed. And Gareth Southgate has got everything lined up right now for England to win this group and advance into the knockout stages. So that is all I have for you today. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate that. Helps get this video to more and more fans such as yourself. And that is it, and I will see you next time.